Why wait to see if you'll get something you like this Valentine's Day when you can go to BlueNile.com and find something you'll love? Whether you're looking to treat yourself to a little winter sparkle or show a galentine how much you appreciate them, Blue Nile offers a wide selection of high-quality designs, expert guidance, and free 30-day returns for the ultimate peace of mind. You can even design your own jewelry. Right now, save up to 50% at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Hello again, hockey fans. Are you ready to brave the wild? With me, your host, Paladino Joey. Yes, sir, I am here. We are ready to talk hockey. And with me once again, Neil Nate Dog Thiesing.
Yeah.
And he is back. There is the signature call out. Welcome back, Neil. Welcome. Huh?
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome back. Yep, thanks for joining again. This is Brave the Wild, episode 63, the season preview for the 2013-2014 season. Yes, sir, we are on Skype again, not in studio, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. we got to get in studio again. Dang it! Look at you. No, I'm kidding. Nope. Huh?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep. So, basically today, yes, we are here to preview the Minnesota Wild and National Hockey League. We are going to have 2 segments today. Yes, sir. First, we're going to talk about the Wild in this case, and then we are going to do our predictions for the NHL. How teams are going to finish, per se. Who's going to be a surprise? Who's going to be a disappointment? And, yeah, who's going to go all the way? All that good stuff. How the Wild will finish. We'll close the show with that. Yes, because who's more important to us than the Minnesota Wild, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We know it. Yes, sir. And, well, also we'd like to welcome those of you that may be listening from South Dakota. Yes, sir, Dakota Sports FM. Thank you again, Travis, for having us on board there as well. Don't forget, if you can't be in front of a computer for Dakota Sports FM, you can also look up Dakota Sports FM on TuneIn. So, yes, and of course, Android users, maybe you don't have an iPod or Apple. Well, Double Twist works exactly the same as iTunes to look up Brave the Wild and other shows as well. So there you go. We get that cleared up and ready to roll, maximize the listeners and all that good stuff, keeping people tuning into us. So here we are. The Minnesota Wild last year finished with the 8th seed. It looked really promising for a while, but then wrapping up with the 8th seed, barely sneaking into the playoffs. Mike Yeo barely keeping his job. Didn't have the same fate as Todd Richards, lucky for him, due to a couple of bounces of the puck pretty much in a Colorado game. Oh my goodness, that was a close one for him. So where do we go from here? Where do we go now, as the song says? This is going to be this is a pivotal year for a lot of young guys at the Wild, and of course the head coach as well. So really, speaking of young guys, and well, obviously a lot of certain players need to step up for this team to make a stride beyond the 8th seed. One other key, though, as well, that's helpful, at least Jason Pominville is healthy now and ready to go. He'll have a full training camp to go with that. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think.
Isn't that nice?
Yep.
We're going to have the top line ready and we're ready to rock and roll here in NHL training camp, Wild training camp, which began this week finally. Didn't that feel good, Neil? Didn't it feel good to see that again?
30 starting.
Yes, sir. They are out there in the practice jerseys in the Xcel Energy Center already. Thank God. First preseason game Tuesday night, the 17th, everybody. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe it happened that quickly?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like the summer just started because it snowed May 3rd. It snowed after the Wild lost the first round. Or actually during, we'll say during. Yes. Since it was a late year due to massive lockout issues. Well, but yes, like as I was mentioning, okay, we started off with Jason Pominville and all that. Koivu and Parise, not Parise. You're always going to get confused because of that whole Olympic thing when they started calling him Parise. Speaking of that, also Winter Olympics again. Wow, that came pretty quick.
Yeah.
Not that I'm digressing too much, right? Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. Yes. But that's the top line, obviously. That's a given. We know that. Basically the three best offensive players, depending on what people may think of Mikko Koivu. He's a huge topic going in. Yeah, just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You think Mikko Koivu could use a... Yeah, there's a million things you could say about him.
Mm-hmm.
Not clutch. Very good defensive player. Not durable. What do you think of Koivu, Neil? What do you think of Koivu?
Oh, he didn't do too bad for us, but he didn't. Not good in the playoffs.
Yeah, he killed us in the postseason. That's exactly the key. The postseason, gosh, it seems like, there was only 1 year the Wild had like clutch play in the postseason. We know what year that was. We talk about it too much probably because it's a very positive thing, 2003. But man, ever since, it seems like a lot of the Wild top players seem to fall asleep when it's playoff time. That's a huge key coming in. And obviously, Koivu, health is an issue. A lot of people would tell you he shouldn't be the captain of this team. A lot of people would tell you that. Seems like he's always ready and willing to get behind the mic and talk to people and represent the team when they're winning. But boy, when things aren't going so well,
Yep.
Things aren't going so well. He tends to disappear, and that's not good actually. If you want to be a captain of a team,
Yeah.
don't you just love Koivu? I don't mean to hate him too much, but it's just one of those things. So that's pretty much obviously, that's the key. Mikko Koivu has to be more consistent, and it's frustrating when a guy gets to be 30 plus and you're still talking about consistency issues. That's the root of my frustration with Koivu.
Yeah.
Talk more about Koivu. Yes, don't you love him? No. No, you don't want to defend him, do you? I'm trying to bait you to defend him or to rip him good. What do you think?
It can be tough sometimes, but sometimes if you stick he has to be on the top line to be productive. That's
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, even some people were even hinting at let's see what happens if we move him down to the second line. Though I don't know, he'd probably disappear even more. So that's a good take. I think that's a better take than moving him down to second line. Though then a lot of people say that he is just a second line center, so it just shows the team's not deep still. The second line is going to be interesting this year, though. Very interesting. Like they're talking about, you know how Charlie Coyle for the longest time was on the top line last year. That's obviously probably the top prospect of the Wilds. He's not in the system anymore because he's on the NHL level and he's going to stay there. A guy that was kind of up and down last year is Mikhail. I keep saying it wrong. Mikhail Granlund, very debated member of the Wild last year. Coyle was the wing. Basically everyone's saying Coyle is going to be the second line center. How about that? Switching from wing to center. They say he was a natural center anyway, but still. I don't know. I kind of like Coyle more as a winger. Granlund, though, has to be center. You know, old Lou Nanny was talking about that. He is center, end of story, and he's going to play there. But yeah, his size has been an issue so far in the NHL level. Mikhail Granlund. But yeah, the talk is they're both going to be center. The problem is, Choyo, excuse me. You think of the third line generally as a checking line, don't you? So I would see Granlund against the second line if you're looking at more kind of the little skill guys. But third line, I don't know. I think Coyle's better suited for the second line, yet physically it's like he almost might have to be third line. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. Aren't you excited about that? No. trying to be. I got to stop saying that, by the way. Driving people crazy with that. Jason Zucker had a fairly productive year last year, but at the same time wasn't on the NHL roster then, or was sent down, of course, during the season, then gets brought back up again. Very interesting, and actually was a factor. Him and Marco Scandella, both factors in the playoffs, despite the fact that both of them, struggled about the midpoint of the year. It seemed like they struggled to a point they both had to get sent down, Scandella especially, but second line, Zucker is a huge key for the Wild coming in. Nino Niederreiter as well. Honestly, I don't know what to make about Nino Niederreiter. His production level was basically zero in the NHL, and I've personally never seen him play, so it's just one of those things. Zucker, I think, is very skilled.
Yeah. I like Zucker. He had some pretty cool goals.
Yeah, he's got that sniper. You know, he's a bit of a sniper, that's for sure. Not sure what else he does, but not yet anyway. But no, I shouldn't even say that. He does have some. He has some nice moves. I mean, that's one of the keys that he brings to the team. He does have elusive moves to score. That's basically plain and simple. All there is to it. That's the object of the game, to score. So, Niederreiter doesn't seem like that kind of guy just yet. I think the Wild are gambling a bit on him, personally. I mean, you remember what we talked about last show with Nino Niederreiter? remember how many goals he scored in like 50 games?
I don't remember.
1. He scored 1 goal in 50 games. I don't even know how that's possible. Even I don't care how bad the New York Islanders are or were or whatever. 53 games, 1 goal.
That's brutal.
It is. I just I don't know. It's a bit of a gamble. That one has me miffed a little bit. Obviously, departures during the course. We talked about it on the last show, but might as well throw it in again. 2 guys that are gone, obviously, Cal Clutterbuck and Devin Setaguchi, the 2 top physical players on the team last year. Are you going to miss them?
Not really.
Not so much?
No. Well, yeah, I miss Clutterbuck for his hits and stuff, but it was a little down last year.
He definitely had a down year. It seemed like his scoring just disappeared. And funny how, in a lot of ways, you could say Devin Setaguchi was actually better. He actually had a fairly good year last year. Yeah. And he's traded to the Winnipeg Jets. So luckily we got a second-round pick for him, though. That's not bad for Devin Setaguchi, considering he's kind of, talk about inconsistent. Like when he's good, he's real good, but when he's not good, it's just
Yeah.
It's not even that he's invisible. He makes a lot of mistakes too. So, I remember Zucker had some mental errors. Even Koivu was like mental error city in the playoffs. There were a lot of people that were not happy with that guy last year. During, you listen to those, you know, those call-in shows after playoff games and like KFAN and such stations like that. Oh my God, they were not happy with Koivu. and I don't blame them. Killed us. I mean, I don't know, expecting us to beat Chicago in a 7-game series was kind of like climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah.
It was kind of like climbing Mount Everest with like no tools, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was almost impossible. Yeah, that was rough. Obviously, Backstrom got hurt too. Look at me talking about the playoffs again. It still sticks in my craw, Neil. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
It just was like, it looked so promising, and then you just run into a brick wall because your team just stops playing the last like 3 weeks of the season. It's like, what the hell? And then rebound for like in like 2 games or something just to barely make it. Broke my heart, Neil. Broke my heart.
Mhm.
Yes. So as we continue to bounce around and now we try to kind of stay organized, shall we talk about the defensive side of the puck, Neil? Shall we talk about the blue line? Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready? Oh, because yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, who's going to lead the Wild in hits first, though, right? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, woo. I guess it'll be Matt Cook, I guess. I'm just saying that real quick before we jump into defense, but I guess it's going to be Matt Cook. Oh, goody.
Yep.
Aren't you excited about Matt Cook? Yes. Yeah, there was a lot of people were annoyed about that one. He's already like 34 and he likes to chop people's ankles off with his skate. It's The Shining, Neil. It's The Shining. You know, he's gonna chop somebody's door down with the axe. That's gonna be his next. That's gonna be his next incident, I think. He's gonna say, "Oh, I'm perfectly good to go now. There's no problem," and then he's gonna. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind now. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Okay. So, on the defensive side of the puck, well, there's 2 guys that are just can't miss, like franchise defensemen. I mean, 2 years ago, the Wild didn't have a single guy in this category. Some people were hoping Marco Scandella would be that guy. They were really hoping he would be. But it just, well, we'll see. We'll put that on hold for a moment. But luckily, we were able to sign Mr. Suter, Ryan Suter, and of course, draft Jonas Brodin, who is, wow. Jonas Brodin has the it factor in this league. He really does. Not only does he have the skill to be an elite defenseman, he has the mind to be an elite defenseman. To have him pairing with Ryan Suter, that's one of the top defensive pairings in all of hockey, Neil.
Wow.
Very happy to see who we have on this blue line at that point. But after that, it's like the drop-off is... It's like a mild drop-off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, I shouldn't be too hard on Jared Spurgeon now. Don't you like that feisty little Spurgeon?
Oh, yeah.
He's gutty, isn't he?
Mhm. Then we got Keith Ballard.
Yeah, that's what I like. We got Keith Ballard, too. He was unproductive in Vancouver, but very productive before that. So, well, it's all about, can he rebound? Can he bring that to the Wild, what he brought before? That kind of 25, 30-point guy. Do you have a good feeling about it?
Oh, yeah.
You just love the Wild. Keith Ballard.
Wild number 1, Jew.
Huh?
Wild number 1, Jew.
You're number 1?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yep. So, yeah, Keith Ballard. It's going to be... That's the good part. At least we have something. We hope to have a rebound out of Keith Ballard. Marco Scandella, remember how badly he just fell apart during last season. Early in the year, came in with a decent amount of expectations, not as high as the previous year, but you get the idea. Huge drop-off, ended up getting sent down to Houston, which will be the Iowa Wild. Oh, goody. What a creative name. And really, really creative jerseys, by the way. Okay, digressing yet again for the 99th time already. What have you seen the Iowa Wild jerseys, Neil?
No, I don't think I've seen them.
Look at you. You know what the logo is?
Uh,
It's a word that says wild. That's all. Just a word. There is no logo. No. I mean, I guess they use the wild crest on their shoulders, but yeah, big deal, right?
yeah.
I like the Houston Aeros. I'm sorry, but just thought I'd throw that out there. I like. Yeah, I gotta stop pounding this desk here, but I don't know. I like the Houston Aeros name and logo. I like airplanes as like a team name. I don't know. Why do you got to call your minor league team the same name as your, like, major league team or, professional team? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Iowa Wild. Google it. Google it. Google it. You should Google it real quick. And yes, all you listeners that might be curious about how creative the designers of that, I don't know. I guess we're trying to be like the 1930s, but anyhow, I'm really digressing again. Marco Scandella will hopefully not have to wear an Iowa Wild jersey. Hopefully not. Stepped up big time going into the playoffs. Huge surprise, actually, to me personally. But a lot of people at the same time were saying, you have to call it Marco Scandella because Clayton Stoner was terrible, and so was Tom Gilbert. Those two guys just fell off the face of the earth, especially Gilbert. It's like, what the heck? Clayton Stoner's role is going to be minimum, I got to think, on this team. Luckily, we still have Nate Prosser as well. That's those are two dark horse players. Spurgeon. So who's going to pair with Scandella? Is it going to be Keith Ballard or Spurgeon? I guess we'll just have to see where everything shows up here. Some of you may know more about that than me, but it's just one of those things. Those guys are kind of on the lower end of the food chain. Unfortunately, I think right early on, Keith Ballard's probably going to be pairing with Stoner. That would be my early prediction. But yeah, it's just one of those things. They're probably going to make him like a fifth or sixth defenseman coming in because his production level was pretty low and all that good stuff. So yes, a guy that played way too much last year, Nicholas Backstrom. Yes, remember he signed him to a 3-year deal, a significant pay cut from his previous deal. Thank God for that. We were able to bring him back at a very, very decent deal, about $3 million a year, $3.5 million a year versus 7-ish. So that's a nice change there.
Oh, yeah.
We need change, Neil. We need change. Yes. Nicholas Backstrom. Yes. I think he played too much last year, and that's why he got hurt. I think, well, a lot of people would tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, he broke down. Obviously, the warm-ups in Game 1 of the playoffs. It was all Mr. Josh Harding after that.
Yeah, Backstrom is what the heck? Expect Backstrom to be good all year. Paid him $7 million.
Yep, that was the key. I mean, and he was decent during the season. It seemed like he dropped off at times. Sometimes he was quite the sieve, and then next thing you know, he gets hurt when it comes to playoff time, and that was it for him pretty much. Then the Wild are done. I mean, it's just, yeah, they had no chance in that series. Look at me talking about it again. But I guess you have to when you're talking about Backstrom.
Yeah.
You really have no choice. Really have no choice when we're talking about Backstrom. Oh, man, Lord have mercy. Backy.
Yeah, if we had more of a chance to win with Backstrom in there, you're still climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's the whole key. Basically, I mean, that is the whole key. We're just going to be climbing Mount Everest if we're not, if he can't stay healthy, obviously. We're really, really riding a lot on, well, Backstrom's getting older. Luckily, the contract's less, but then you have Josh Harding with multiple sclerosis. Boy, it's tough. It's tough. We're going to have to really hope that minor league system, I got a feeling we're going to be calling goalies from the minor league system yet again. Of course, in this case, Darcy Kumper, who was okay. Sooner or later, he's going to probably have to move in. Matt Hackett,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Matt Hackett, of course, was traded in order to get Pominville. Remember, Matt Hackett was he was the top goalie in the system, but it seemed like he was playing a little bit. He was having kind of a down year a bit last year compared to the year before.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of the things. But yeah, that trade has a lot of people worried. Like, not too worried, but yeah, some people are a bit. They're a bit about the deal, I guess. The whole deal about getting Pominville for Hackett and Johan Larsson. People a little. I guess it all depends. Jason Pominville they're in negotiations to extend Jason Pominville after this year. Of course, he will be a free agent if the Wild are unable to sign him, and boy, if he walks. So it's kind of a hit and miss situation right now. Pominville and Pominville and the Wild. It could.
They still have to sign him?
Yep, that's the whole key. We still have to sign Pominville, unfortunately. Yep, he was signed, well, obviously through last year and all this year, but now we're hoping to get an extension, and the other key is in order to get, the other key is if we can keep Pominville, there's a possibility. A very familiar name named Thomas Vanek could be coming to the Wild as well, huh? So the Buffalo Sabres are going to hate us.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine Pominville and Thomas Vanek coming to Minnesota?
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it, though?
That'd be great.
Thomas Vanek, Neil. Thomas Vanek. Yeah, so that possibility is still out there. I remember that whole year during the year we signed, we ended up signing Zach Parise in the summer. That whole year, remember, I kept talking about Zach Parise. Wild are they're gonna really go after him and hopefully try to kidnap him and sign him. But and then it ended up happening. Obviously, it's not just me saying it; it's people in the media, all over. The possibility does exist and persists, but you can't really necessarily count on that happening if Jason Pominville just ends up leaving. Though, of course, it'll free up cap space immediately. But yeah, there's a lot of ways the Wild will ultimately have the cap space to sign Thomas Vanek. Yes, Thomas Vanek. Yeah, I had to get off the goalie conversation because it's kind of depressing, It's kind of scary. It's a very tight rope they're walking with the goalies, I think, going into this year. That's just me personally.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good if we lost Backstrom at all.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about it. Are you comfortable with Backstrom and Harding as the two goalies?
I don't know about. I'm comfortable with Backstrom. I don't know about Josh Harding.
Yeah, because
Just too many ifs, I guess.
Yeah, you just don't know his health. Like it's good now, but stuff can change. Things can change at any point.
Yeah.
We both know that as well. Unfortunately, just because health changes just because, and just unfortunately, life is crazy. Yep, of course. As I mentioned earlier, Josh Harding has multiple sclerosis, and obviously you've heard it in the news 100,000 times, I'm sure. So, yeah, it's a wild card. Backstrom's age and consistency is a wild card. He was a consistent guy, but I haven't really seen that from him the last several years. Or not several years, last couple of years, excuse me. So, hoping for the best there. Don't be surprised to see Darcy Kumper up here for extended time this year, though, just because, Just because. I got to think that he will be replacing one of those two for whatever reason. Health, sickness, injury, whatever. So, we'll see.
It'd be nice if we have a solid goaltending this year.
That's going to be the key. They were really, really counting on Backstrom last year. I think they overplayed him. Hopefully, we can give Backstrom enough rest this year. Hopefully, Harding is healthy enough we can give Backstrom rest so he won't break down at the end of the year. Yeah, it's just something that happens to guys that are 34, 35, you know? If you play him too much, obviously the schedule was real condensed last year because of the lockout situation. Sometimes 3 games, 3 nights, that's crazy. And then Baxter playing all 3, that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Mm-mm.
Ugh. So that's one of the keys, obviously.
We
Yep.
didn't have a full season last year either. It's just nuts.
That's the thing, you know, because, yeah, I mean, it was a shortened season, but then, unfortunately, I mean, it was also condensed as well. So
Yeah.
it's like they went from maybe they weren't as in great shape coming in. It seemed like the Wild didn't have that big of an issue as other teams may have, but still, you have to kind of rush from off-season to regular season in like a couple seconds, you know, not much of a training camp and such to kind of get things going. Huh?
Yeah.
So injuries are more common in that type of situation, and of course the ultra-condensed schedule and being 34 didn't help Backstrom either. So hopefully he'll be, it's all about health going in. Yeah. Plain and simple with the goalies. Health, health, health. So, are you ready to talk about the head man of the Wild, Neil? Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Hey yo, no, okay, that's an old one. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mike Yo. $1 million question for this team: is Mike Yo the right man for the job? I don't know. What I didn't like, it kind of drove me nuts was, and I understand if something isn't working, you have to make changes sometimes. But it seemed like every 2 days though he was trying to shuffle stuff around. I don't know. I can't imagine that was like the best way to handle things. He was constantly shuffling things all the time, shuffling the lines, shuffling this, shuffling the power play, shuffling the penalty kill, shuffling this, that. So it got a bit obnoxious, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember Parisi in the past saying, you know, for me it's all about chemistry, playing with the same people. So that's wink, wink, you know. That's like when you hear 2 different things from 2 very important members of the team. It's like, uh-oh. So I'm not saying there's a big thing going on, but just saying I can't imagine that always went over well, like constantly shuffling people around.
Yeah.
That's just a possibility. Yes, just a possibility. It seemed like Mike Yo was always trying to make some kind of statement, and I don't know. I hope it clicks, because it seemed like back-to-back years things clicked great early on in the year, and then by the mid to later point of the year it was just like, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking huge collapses. So, and I know the first time was a lot of injuries. The second one, though, it really wasn't a lot of injuries. It was just the team started to not play well. I mean, there were small injuries, not big ones, until Backstrom at the last second, but that's another story. I don't know. Go ahead.
I think, well, they were switching up the line too. I know Yo was to try to produce more goals, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you're always trying to get some type of chemistry as well too. Goals are the main object, but you know, chemistry as well. It just seemed like maybe I don't know, short fuse or something, but we'll see.
Yeah.
He's young. It's like he's young. Give him a chance. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know how much chance you can give him. Ultimately, I mean, if you were like the owner of the team, let's just say, if you were the owner of the team, what would you expect from him in order to keep his job this year? Like, do you expect? Obviously, the playoffs are dead minimum, right? But what type of postseason success would you expect out of Mike Yo in order to keep his job, personally?
I expect him to at least be competitive in the playoffs.
Do you expect them to win, at least get out of the first round this year, or?
That's, I guess, at least the hopes of, everyone who makes the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who makes the playoffs are at least they're good teams,
Mm-hmm. Most of the time. I mean, yeah, we've seen 8 seeds go all the way, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, just saying, though, like, say the Wild make the playoffs and just lay an egg again. And imagine this time it's not like a team like the Blackhawks. But they just flat lay an egg, and it seems like they're making a lot of mental errors like last year. Not only did the Wild run into the Blackhawks, but there were mental errors all over the place. Chemistry was like 0%, It was just like, we know who's going to win this series. End of story, So, if you saw that again, would you keep Mike Yeo as the coach?
Guess it would be hard. But we have such young players too.
That's the hard part, yeah. That's the hard part, It's the mix of veterans and young guys can make things quite interesting at times. Sometimes it's a really good thing, and sometimes it's not, because it can have the philosophy of the coach going in 2 different directions, or the philosophy of the franchise going in 2 different directions. Like, okay, we're trying to develop the young guys, but we gotta cater to the veteran. We gotta, you know what I mean? You're just going in multiple directions all the time, and then, it's a good thing I'm not the coach, huh?
Yeah.
poor Mike Yeo. And it's not even necessarily catering to the veterans, but there's different styles of coaching for the young guys and the veterans. That's just the way it is too. Like, maybe, I don't know. You get all the cliches. Like, young guys might be more likely to respond to a hard ass sometimes, or maybe not. Maybe it's the other way around. So, I don't know. Everybody's different. Oh yeah. But no, different coaching philosophies as well. Kind of the win now approach versus the develop the young guys approach. What is a success out of Mike Yeo? That's the $1 million question. For me, I think this team, at minimum, and I mean at minimum, would have to scare the living bleep out of a team in the first round if say they weren't able to win.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, if they were, that would be the way he would keep his job if they didn't get out of the first round. Because I know hockey's funny, and teams are going to get upset in the first round sometimes. That doesn't necessarily mean you got to fire the coach. But in hockey, you know what happens, don't you? I mean, it's a firing squad, man.
Yeah.
Up New York lost the second round. Coach fired. GM fired. It's like, wow, that was quick. They hired him last year. Wow, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So hockey's like that. It can be harsh. I personally expect the Wild to get out of the first round this year for Mike Yeo to keep his job personally, but there's that small exception where it's at least you get the vibe like the team is responding to Mike Yeo big time and not like. Because if you get the vibe like the team is just not responding to him, he has to go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, it's all about the team and the chemistry and stuff too,
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, it's all about the team and the chemistry. Without a doubt, that's gonna really help. That's gonna really help decide where this team is headed. And like I was bouncing around earlier, the young versus the veteran. It's tough. It's tough because Parise and Suter are 28 already, man. Doggone it,
Yeah.
I hate that they're already 28. I was hoping they were like 25-ish, but no, they're not. 25, 24, but no. Damn. So these young guys better giddy up. I really hope so. When people tried to compare the Wild to the Blackhawks, like how they had all these young guys and they were kind of, slowly getting better, and then bam, they were stars, all that good stuff, and then they started winning the Stanley Cup and all that, Chicago. But the thing is, a lot of those guys, right out of the gate, they were scoring like 60, 70, 80 points. I'm not seeing that from Coyle, Zucker, Granlund, any of those guys, like anything close to it. So
No.
that kind of defeats that argument, just like that, doesn't it? So I understand guys take time to develop, but sometimes superstars are superstars period,
Yeah.
you know? You know?
I don't. We have besides the ones that we already know from last year.
We really got to hope these guys can develop into at least Pominville level at some point. So,
Yeah.
but even he was good pretty early in his career. So, cross your fingers.
Yep.
Hopefully something.
Yeah. I hope we at least make the playoffs and hope we get an 8 seed.
Yeah, at least, right? I mean, that's, yeah. Yeah, then we're going to get to our little official prediction at the very end of the show. Like, what seed will the Wild get? Obviously, 9 and up is missing the playoffs. Uh-oh, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a good conversation. And Mike, that was fun. I actually enjoyed that. Hope the listeners did as well. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Good job. Yep. So, before we get into the NHL predictions, we'll take a break and all that good stuff. But we'll wrap up this segment, very long segment, with, boy, the Wild's new white uniforms. Now we know what they look like.
Yep.
I got to tell you, I was scared to death. I was like, oh, God, please don't go to that stupid same look that the green uniforms have. A lot of people think they're great. I don't agree. Do you like the fact that the Wild's green uniforms just say Minnesota and that's it? I don't know. I mean, people have so differing opinions on it. Like, they think a big the big logo in the middle looks cheesy. I think it's good.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Minnesota emblem on it.
Like, or you mean the big logo or just the word Minnesota?
The logo.
Yeah, I like the logo because, well, look at all the original 6 teams. The Detroit Red Wings crest is right in the middle. Blackhawks, big crest, right in the middle. Bruins, the B with the circle, that's just who they are. But now they even add a bear at times, too, on the third jersey, the actual Bruin brown bear or whatever.
Yeah.
They have the crest in the middle. Montreal is their fascinating crest in the middle. No, it's classic. It's just not fascinating, but obviously they actually were playing in the 40s and 30s, unlike the Wild. Toronto is their big maple leaf in the middle, and who am I forgetting? So you got Chicago, Boston, Toronto, Montreal. I'm going berserk here. Detroit, yes. Do you like that word, Detroit?
No joke.
That would be 6, yeah. Yes, sir. Detroit, Chicago, Montreal, Boston, Toronto. Yep. All right, I better stop. Yeah, Calgary, obviously I love their logo as well. Love it. It's right in the middle. None of them just say Boston or Chicago or Montreal. They have the logo. So
Yeah.
So with that said, the new white uniforms kept the big logo in the middle. So what do you think? Do you think it's an upgrade or downgrade from the white uniforms that we kept since day one?
I like them. They're pretty sharp.
Yeah, I think I don't mind them. Yeah, they add that tie thing that they have now, or laces underneath the neck. That the red jersey got that going with the Wild. I used to like the red jerseys. I'm ready to see those moved on. Actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I really liked them early on. Now I don't. The green ones are, well, I like green, but I think that's the main color of the Wild. But the jersey it's about as creative as a Bill Musgrave offense. Yeah, that's a very, very tender, very sour thing right now. Yeah, hit a tender spot right there, didn't I? Yeah, check out Purple Mafia to hear about that, folks. It's coming pretty soon in the next couple of days. Myself and Dylan Richardson of thesportstuff.com. Oh, anyhow. Yeah, Purple. Huh? I
said, don't talk about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, that was just sickening. Okay, hopefully that's not there's Chicago again, like the Wild versus the Blackhawks, but that's something I better shut up about. Yeah, I like the new white uniforms, and those of you out there that may have a Facebook account that are on the Brave the Wild Facebook page, just simply look up Brave the Wild Minnesota Wild Show. Look that up on Facebook, go there and click like. comment about the Minnesota Wild's white jersey. Yes. I'll probably create a thread about that here tonight, just to get people commenting on it. Obviously it's not brand new news. It came out on September 1st, but well, it'd be nice to start a little discussion about that. Get the page a little more active. Also, there's a Twitter account at Brave the Wild. Of course, one word. Just simply go and follow that on Twitter if you could have. I'd deeply appreciate it. Yes. So, anything else you'd like to wrap up about the Wild's white jersey or Mike Yeo or anything else of the Wild coming in? Before we go to break anyway. Sorry.
Not really. I guess I'm looking forward to the year. I guess we're going to get to more about our predictions and stuff.
Yep. That's obviously still coming up. So, yep, good idea there. Good idea to save that. So, with that, yeah, we teased to it, and we'll be getting to that very shortly after the break here. And now, a word from a sponsor.
Do you shop on Amazon? Did you know that you can support this podcast just by doing your normal shopping on Amazon? It's really easy to do. Just go to thesportstuff.com and click on one of the many Amazon pictures. Do your normal shopping, and Amazon sees that we referred you, and they give us a percentage. We'd like to thank you in advance for supporting thesportstuff.com, and please use our Amazon link. Now enjoy the rest of the show.
We are going round like Saturn's rings. We are going down.
And we are back here on Brave the Wild, episode number 63, which is a reminder for those of you out there. It is, of course, September 15th, 2013 today. Yes. So, here we go. Prediction segment. Oh, yeah. This is what it's all about, baby. I love doing this. It's definitely something for myself to look forward to every year, because you know what it means? It means hockey is starting again. That's what it means. So, first and foremost, we are going to have our flop and surprise in the Eastern and Western Conference. We always start with the East because it's, outside of our home conference. We have a very different, not very different, but significantly different alignment in the NHL now. We have, in the Eastern Division. Well, we have a division still, or Eastern Conference, because we have a division called the Atlantic, but it's much larger now. You have the Detroit Red Wings over there.
Yeah.
So an ode to the Detroit Red Wings. No longer in the Western Conference, no longer somebody that can bully the Wild or whoever. It's kind of sad, though, isn't it?
Heck no.
For rivalry's sake, it's sad, but yeah, we're not going to miss them too much, are we? Okay. Yeah, but outside of that, nobody really moved around too much. We have one division with a creative name. The rest of the names are not very creative. The Atlantic Division already existed before, if I'm correct. Yeah, it did. In the Eastern Conference. I miss the old Norris, Smythe, and all that stuff. That was cool. Adams, that was cool. Wales Conference, Campbell Conference. I miss those days. But, yeah, the only creative division name is the Metropolitan, which is like, okay. The Metropolitan Division. Really? Yes, I suppose it's because it's got New York and New York. No, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, New Jersey. Yeah, well, All right, so the Western Conference, the Wild finally get realigned with their old rivals, except for Detroit. And with a new rival, with Winnipeg, which has Devin Setaguchi on it. If we trade Devin Setaguchi to a future division rival. Aren't you excited? Yeah.
No, not really.
Not too much. I got a bad feeling about that, but thank God we got a second round pick at least, which is actually a good pick in hockey. So yeah, in the Central Division, the Wild have, obviously are realigned with Chicago and St. Louis again. No Detroit. Winnipeg, of course, I just mentioned. Dallas, which I think is going to be our true rival. We're keeping Colorado, so we're keeping an old new division rival from the Northwest Division in Colorado and Nashville. Yeah, so there it is. We're finally going to be in a division that aligns better geographically with the Wild and their traveling issues. So we won't be able to use that as a crutch anymore. Yeah, saying, I'm tired of all this, tired of having to travel so much, and it's killing the team and all that, having to go to Calgary and Edmonton and Vancouver. But, well, they are now all in the Pacific Division, yes, with the Kings and Anaheim and San Jose and Phoenix. Yes, sir. So I'm kind of going to miss that division a little more than some people, just because it was kind of fun. I mean, it was over 10 years, so it counts for something, especially especially Vancouver, huh?
No, I don't know about Vancouver. I hate those.
But part of it is the fun of that. You get to hate them. Like, you wouldn't want the Vikings to move out of the North Division, would you, with the Packers? So, see, it's like you hate that team, but you love the rivalry. You know what I mean? You love hating them because you're in the same division and all that good stuff. So, I mean, I suppose Minnesota and Vancouver are still in the same conference, so I guess that's all that'll really matter ultimately. But takes a little of that division thing away. I'm personally going to miss that also because, those 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock starts kind of helped out with my second shift schedule a bit too. So that's a little inside information right there. Yeah, so it helped a little bit, but I suppose, but FSN does always replay the games, thank God, so I can turn them on at midnight, being the half night owl, huh?
Yeah, that'll help.
It shall, yep, being the half night owl that I am. So, yeah, now that we've danced around the conferences a little bit, what teams are going to flop, what teams are going to surprise in each conference? So it's just one team in each category. Teams that did good last year that you think are going to flop this year in the conference, or maybe they didn't even necessarily do good, but you think they're going to fail in the expectation category. It's kind of tough. I guess I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in the Eastern Conference because, well, look at the way they just got manhandled by Boston in that Eastern Conference Finals. They didn't even look professional at all about it either. They look like crap. So my flop team in the Eastern Conference is the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Wow.
What do you think of that? Yeah, they had the best record in the East last year, but I think they're going to drop off. You're going to see the New York Islanders, baby. No, sooner or later, the New York Islanders are going to emerge as one of the better teams, in my opinion. I think the Rangers improve, but I better shut up about that and let you... We'll get to that next part. Do you have a flop team in the East, Neil?
I think the Devils.
Ooh, yes. I like that idea. I like it. Think they're going to flop off?
Yeah.
I would like to see that happen. I'm not a big Devils fan. So shall we slide into surprise, or would you like to say more about the Devils?
I could slide into surprise.
Okay. Go. Pick your surprise quick.
Pick the Washington.
Really? You got a good feeling about Ovechkin?
Yep.
Tell me more about Ovechkin, Neil. Tell me.
I think he'll probably have a pretty good year this year.
Look at you. Look at you, the guy that never wins in the playoffs. Look at you. But hey, I guess I suppose sooner or later somebody's due for a breakthrough, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going on with that one? Mm-hmm. Basically, sooner or later he's got to break through, like Peyton Manning did with the NFL, right?
Yep.
Finally won a Super Bowl after getting beat every year in the playoffs. So that's your mindset with that one?
Yep.
Because the Devils, maybe too many departures and such.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, and what's his name? Ancient or gone. He's either ancient or gone, I believe. Yeah, still playing. Brodeur. Wow. Crazy son of a gun.
Wow.
Who's Brodeur? No, I'm kidding.
Can't believe he's still playing.
I think he fought in World War II. What do you think? Did he? Or was it World War I? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Actually, no, yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm really a bit stunned. Just a bit, what the hell? Okay, yeah, it's like he did retire, right? He didn't retire. What? Yeah, it's like that. That's what it is with Bernier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every time, it's like you get kind of quiet. Oh, yeah, he retired. No, he didn't. Wow. Anyhow, so Berdier's going to play again. Okay. So, flop in the Western Conference. Who dare it be? See, well, we can't pick Colorado because they had the worst record in the Western Conference last year. Are they going to be a surprise team? No. Flop team. You know who's going to flop, Neil? You know who's going to flop?
Who?
Vancouver. Vancouver's going to flop. Yeah. They brought in they were already like mentally fragile enough. So you think bringing in New York's coach, the guy that like pisses everybody off and gets pissed off about everything is gonna help? Huh?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so. For Tortella, yeah. I mean, are they gonna Tortella, you know, the guy who's constantly got something to say, like John Tortella, of course. Yeah, John Tortella. That guy's. I don't know. It's funny how Vancouver basically and New York traded coaches, so that's even more reason to hate the Rangers. Really? You know what I mean? Or not the Rangers? Excuse me. I love the Rangers now because they got rid of him, but Vancouver Canucks, really?
Oh, really? Thank you.
What were they thinking? Don't you love Tortilla and Marcus, Neil? Oh, yeah. I got to stop saying that. Joey?
You just called me Marcus?
Yes, I did. I just called you Marcus, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, it's because we do the Joey. Yeah, they hired John Tortilla. Okay. So, I guess you can go cuss out the Vancouver media and, and mentally screw up those guys even more. So good luck to them. I think they're going to flop. So, yeah, who's your flop in the Western Conference?
Say wish that
You wish?
the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Oh, I wish. I wish. Do you think they will? I wish. They're pretty dangerous. Jiminy Christmas, they're dangerous, you know?
I don't like them.
Oh, no, I don't either. There's too much negative history with that one. We got our hearts broken.
Yeah.
It's pretty frustrating. Yeah, I mean, you're free to pick the same team as me if you want to. Not saying I'm Mr. Genius here, but you're free to if you want to. Oh, man, I just feel good. Look at you.
Nashville, probably.
Do you think they're going to be a surprise? They're dangerous. They had a bit of a drop-off, a little bit, because of Mr. Suter left, but you never know. They got pieces.
Yeah.
They have good prospects in the system, so we'll see where that goes. So briefly, I forgot to do our surprises, though, in the East. Yes, I mean, granted, it's probably better just to do the flops first and then the surprises.
Yeah.
So, surprise, Buffalo. No, not going to be Buffalo. Florida, I couldn't believe how much they dropped off from the previous year. That made almost no sense how much. They just completely vanished. It was weird. After being like a third seed or something, they died. They had like the worst record in the East. It's almost tempting to pick them as a surprise just because they might rebound. But you know me, I'm obsessed with that New York Islanders system. I think they've drafted so many good players. They kind of have Detroit Red Wings. Okay, I won't say that, but, you know, teams draft enough good players, like how bad the Blackhawks were for forever, and they got all those stars, and now they're, like, probably the next Red Wings right now. I'm going to go with the New York Islanders as a surprise in the Eastern Conference. Again, third year in a row, Neil, third year in a row.
Nice.
Can you believe that? Surprise in the East, yes? New York Islanders.
Rangers.
Rangers? Hey, there you go. Nice rebound after that bad coach leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's good, but he's bad, right? Like, yeah. Good coach, but really bad personality.
Yeah.
I don't blame you on that one. Not at all. So would you like first dibs on surprise in the West, or do you want me to jump in first?
See. You could go first.
Third year in a row. Edmonton Oilers. I did it again, Neil. I'm just on the jock of the New York Islanders and Edmonton Oilers, aren't I?
Oh yeah.
I just like the 80s, Neil, so I'm still stuck in them. You know, the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Islanders, they won all those cups.
Yep.
Only 9 Stanley Cups went to the Oilers and Rangers Oilers and Islanders in the 80s. That's all. Only 9, not 9, was it? Yeah. Holy Toledo, that's just too many, isn't it?
Yeah, Joe. What the heck? They don't need any more.
8. Excuse me, unless you want to count the 1990 season, but yeah, 8. I'm going berserk here. 8 because 89-90 was the Oilers' 5th one, but yeah, that's a lot though. That's a lot. Those teams like to win cups, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Well, they liked, I should say. So that's my surprise team. Lots of young up-and-comers that are going to break through sooner or later. They showed early signs of it last year, and then it died off. They have some kind of crappy veterans, though. That's kind of what's kept them down, I think. They still have some leftover junk like Eric Belanger. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Ugh, you know. Yep, don't you dismiss Belanger. No, not too much. So do you have a surprise team in the West? You can pick the Oilers, you can. Yeah, no one's going to stop you. Or you could pick Vancouver to be the surprise.
Oh, I'm going with the Minnesota Wild. Woo!
Hey, are you?
Yep.
Cool, I hope so. So you have a good feeling?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yep.
I hope so. Oh, I hope so. So talk about what you think's going to happen. At least briefly, you know.
Young guys are going to step up this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Palmville's going to have a good year, and hopefully we get a guy from Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean ultimately getting Thomas Vanek?
Yep.
Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, my God. Yeah, because, I mean, we got Pominville from Buffalo, and then we get Thomas Vanek through. That would be a hell of a deal. That you just it's an awful you can't refuse, you know. Belanger. Don't you just miss Eric Belanger, Neil? Don't you miss him? Okay, I got to stop saying that. Yeah, he was good early, and then just whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was kind of a dork too in the locker room, but I mean he had good numbers here. But yeah, he's on Edmonton, and he was like disappointing at the time, and I think it looks like they got rid of him actually. But well, too bad, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Aren't you sad for him? No. So are you ready to make the final predictions here? So you have a good feeling about the Wild, though, like the Coils and the Pominvilles and such, huh?
Yep.
I really, really hope so. And that's going to lead into the very final part of the show. But we're not quite there yet. The two teams who are going to be in the who do you think are going to meet up in the Eastern Conference, Neil? Who do you think it's going to be? Islanders and no, okay, I'm just kidding.
Probably Detroit again.
Oh, yeah, yep. Now that they're in the East, yep. It's just, like that. I was almost about to say, wait, right? Yeah, they are in the East.
Boston's going to have quite a fight there with Detroit.
You think it'll be Boston and Detroit in the East Finals? Or Washington or Pittsburgh?
Probably be Detroit and I'm not sure about Washington.
That was your surprise team. That's what I was wondering if you thought they were going to be that surprising. Yep, go to the West Finals, but not quite yet, huh?
Yeah, they just never seemed to get past that first round and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia might have a good year.
Yeah, they've been. That's an interesting thought, possibly. They've been through some changes, but some of the changes were good. They got younger, so we'll see. And obviously, they still have their best players, so the top guys,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that count the most, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they? So
Detroit and Boston.
Detroit and Boston, I like that. I like that a lot. That'll be very cool, actually. Original six, baby, huh?
Yeah.
I actually like that quite a bit. So good thoughts there. I like it. Eastern Conference for myself. Yeah, Boston's going to be there. Yeah, I think Boston's absolutely going to be back in the East Finals. Definitely not Pittsburgh because they're just not. It's like, yeah, I want to pick Toronto so bad, or the New York Islanders. You know, I just, I don't know. I just want to see one of those two teams in there. But, that hurts. It's probably not. I'll go with the New York Rangers. Boston and New York. Boston and the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they have a strong rebound and get significantly further this year. So, yeah, before we pick who's going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals out of the East, it's time to head west, young man. And Western Conference predictions. I'll start with this one just because
Okay.
Chicago. Chicago is going to the Western Conference Finals only to get swept by Vancouver. Okay, I'm just kidding. Dare I say that, huh? Chicago is back in the Western Conference Finals to play Anaheim. I don't want to say this. Damn it. I really hate those teams with a passion.
Yeah, me too.
And you can tell I hate the Western Conference. Like, I hate it so much. And I want to pick St. Louis just because it's like they're really good and they're a team that needs to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, the last time they got there was like their first year in 1967. So that's a long time ago, or was it 69, whatever, like a couple years after. But doesn't immediately matter, but we're talking 60s here. A team with that much success and to only get to the finals like in the 60s? Wow. Okay, I'll go on a limb. Chicago, St. Louis, Western Conference Finals. Chicago and St. Louis in the West Finals. How about you? What do you have in the West Finals, Neil?
Minnesota and Chicago.
Woo, woo, woo. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Listen to this Homer. Hey, I mean, they could. If all goes well, the Wild could make a playoff run. You just don't know. All right, so that's definitely a surprise team to get the Wild in the West Finals. Oh, you're scaring me, aren't you? All right, so who's going to win the East? Who's going to face off in the Stanley Cup Finals? Because you have, Boston, Detroit in the East, and then Minnesota, Chicago in the West. So who faces off in the finals, Stanley Cup Finals?
Boston and Minnesota.
Ooh, man, you got those old rivalries coming back, don't you?
Yep.
The Boston rivalry was like 30, 40 years ago, but still, hey, man, in the early 80s, there was a huge fight back in, 82, 81. So, yeah, I have, New York and Boston, right? In the East, and then Chicago and St. Louis.
Wow.
Chicago and St. Louis. Oh, my God. Dare I do it? No, okay. Okay, let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun. 'Cause I think, I'm going to have some fun with it because we can. St. Louis finally goes to the Stanley Cup Finals, Neil. St. Louis goes to the finals. Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe it.
Can't believe it. Against the Boston Bruins, St. Louis and Boston in the Stanley Cup Finals. Huh?
Wow.
Yep, Tuukka Rask, the rookie, or not rookie, but young goalie, young, strong goalie. I mean, yeah, he got a Stanley Cup as a rookie behind Tim Thomas a couple of years ago. Remember when Boston won? But St. Louis and Boston, huh? Yeah, I like it. I like it. So I'm afraid to ask you, but who do you have winning the? Who do you have winning the Stanley Cup? I'm scared to ask.
It's a wow, baby.
Look at you. You can't do this, can you? Look at you. You're sounding like Carl Gerbschmidt. Look at you. KFAN. Do you know who that is? Some of the listeners may know.
Yeah, I know who that is.
You pickers. No. Oh, we got Neil Gerbschmidt. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I hope so. I hope so. You never know. You never know. Why are they going to beat Boston, Neil? Why are they going to beat all that high-powered team, huh? Why are they going to beat the high-powered Boston Bruins?
Oh, I got the Koivu machine.
Wow, look at you. Yeah, he was quite a machine last year, wasn't he? Leaky gaskets. No, that's more like he seized up last year. That's what happened. He ran out of oil and the piston melted. Oh, yep. I shouldn't have said that, should I?
That's what I was gonna say.
So you're gonna say he got a new motor?
Yep, got a tune-up.
He had to get a whole new engine to get that one though. I hope so. He seized up last year. I'm telling you. Seized up. He had cotton candy and rubber cement instead of oil in the crankcase there. Yeah. So for me, a goalie that talks like that says "yeah" all the time,
Yeah.
That being Tuukka Rask, you know that name I just mentioned, Boston Bruins goalie. He's going to be hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup.
Wow.
St. Louis will be denied once again. Poor guys, but they're going to get there finally. But Lord Stanley will reside in Boston yet again. Yes, sir. Don't you love it?
Love it.
That's an awesome team. I can't say just. I can't go without saying that is an awesome team, and it doesn't matter if I like Boston or not. And yeah, I like them, but I don't love them, but I like them. I think it's an awesome team, and this is their year, in my opinion. Yes.
Rock'em. Fight.
Oh, rock'em, fight. Go wild, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, look at us. We're such rubes. We're rubes, aren't we? Carl Gerbschmidt. Oh yeah. Oh man. I hope you guys are still listening out there now. Don't you be turning that dial. Don't you be turning that dial now just because Neil's picking the Wild to win the Cup. If anything, it should motivate you to say, man, I just love such a positive show but that at the same time is a very objective host. Neil brings the positivity. Joy brings the objectivity. Yes. No, I think the Wild improved this year as we head to the very end of the show here. The ultimate question is how will the Wild finish this year? That's the question. Will they finish with the top seed, the second seed, the fourth seed? What say you, Neil? What say you?
I think we might improve to the sixth seed.
The sixth?
Mhm.
That sounds pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that's about where I was thinking as well. Around the 6 to 4, there's a small chance. I'm going to say the 4th seed, which is funny because you have the Wild winning the Cup from the 6th seed, huh?
Yep.
And yeah, that's not unrealistic. It can happen. If the 8th seed can win a Stanley Cup, the 6th seed can win the Stanley Cup. So
yeah,
it's just hopefully, I mean, it's just one of those things where maybe you go to Vegas and make $1 billion because you get Get real lucky. Pick that correct team, that 1 year or whatever, that year that everything worked out. Yeah, I have the Wild with the 4th seed, believe it or not. Believe it or not. It's a risky pick, but yeah, I'm banking on Charlie Coyle being a significant improvement. I think he's going to be really, really key to the success of the Wild this year. The goalies will be good enough, we'll say. I got to think Parise is going to be, he's going to have a huge year, I think.
Yeah.
Huge year. Yep. Suter is the MVP of the team still, but maybe Parise takes that away from him this year. But Suter, I think, does not take a step back at all. We may even see Matthew Dumba at some point this year. So that's obviously one of the top prospect defensemen. 7th overall pick last year. Yes.
Nice.
You know what's really bad, though? Really bad?
What is that?
Brent Jacobson, I'm not sure if he's... Well, yeah, I think he does listen to this show. I think he does. He showed me a picture. You know how... Matt Dumba, right? How you spell his name? Dumba, right? D-U-M-B-A, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, his locker, the little... whatever it is, the little name tag or whatever on the locker. You know what those are, right? That plastic plaque or whatever?
Yeah.
The person's name and number on it?
Uh-huh.
Well, it said Dumba 55, but it looked like S's, The 2 5s look like S's, right? And they put the name and the numbers extremely close to each other, so what does that look like? Huh? Dumba with 2 S's, you know what I mean? Looks like dumbass, doesn't it? I just thought I'd close the show with that little anecdote. I'm sorry, but he showed me that last year, and it's just, I still can't believe, that's bad, isn't it? It looks just like dumbass. Without the, actually it is there. Duh, what am I saying? Yes, it is there. So that's even worse, yeah. Huh?
That's funny.
It's bad, isn't it? It's funny,
yeah.
Though. Yeah, it is funny. But just seeing that picture is just like, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, you need to change the number or something. Come on, man. Unless he did that on purpose just to think, because he thinks he's funny too, but I don't know. I don't think I want my name spelling that out. Yeah, Matthew Dumba. Go out there, rock the world. I hope you're the best defenseman in the league. Personally, yes. Or 3rd best behind Brodin and Suter. Yeah. Notice I said Brodin ahead of Suter. That's scary.
I was thinking if he could match their play, I like that.
Oh, my God. If he could match their play, woo, that would be an elite defensive core right there.
Yep.
Marco Scandella steps up, becomes a solid defenseman in this league, solid to above average. It would be pretty stacked, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We'd go from remarkably dead and thin just 1 year earlier to very good at the blue line. That would be very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. So, with that, any final thoughts you may want to add to the show?
Just looking forward to the year coming up here. I can't believe it's already September.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah. I'm glad. It always comes pretty quick, even though the off-season can get pretty damn boring after the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, nothing happens, Except for the Matt Cook signing, but...
Yeah.
Oh, goody. It's expensive, too, but yeah, look at me jumping around again. So with that, yeah, I mean, I'm very excited, really looking forward to it. Without a doubt, the Wild do make the playoffs, barring, like, ridiculous injuries, but any team can say that. Yeah. So you don't want Patrick Kane getting hurt in Chicago either, so or Tavares or any of those guys. No, Tavares, what am I talking about? That's I'm an idiot. That's the Islanders, but I just thought I'd goof around with that one. Oh, Taves, Jonathan Taves. I'm like on crack. Excuse me. Marion Hossa, all those studs, And stupid Bickle, where the heck did he come from? Jeez, that guy scored like 700 points last year in the playoffs. I didn't even know who he was. Man, that's not fair. Corey Crawford. Okay, I got to stop talking about the Blackhawks now. I'm gonna get mad. Corey Crawford. You can. All you have to do is shoot high and you'll score. It's like, well, still didn't. Nobody beat them. Anyhow, I better stop. So again, thanks for joining me, Neil. It's been a pleasure. Really love it. Love talking hockey with you. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't be shy, Neil. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Damn it. No. Okay. So for everybody, thank you for listening. Yep, the show is a little bit longer than normal, but what do you expect? It's a season preview. The whole idea is that you enjoy it and have an extended conversation. And from here, I guess we'll follow the preseason and go from there. And preseason games don't mean all that much, yet at the same time, it's nice to see tendencies of certain players and all that good stuff to see how much they develop. Yes, sir. So with that, we'll be back soon, hopefully within the next couple of weeks here. And Neil, you're always welcome on the show.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be back, everybody, sooner rather than later.
Hey, doggy.